All right, Dean Legge, we're going to wrap up Georgia's 52-7 win over the Jackets. This is the innards of Bobby Dodd Stadium, going past some of the stuff. So Georgia did not play well in the second quarter, but other than that, they really did dominate this game, I would say almost completely. And Tech didn't even have 200 yards of total offense, 139, and that's really bad. I don't really know what to say about it. I mean, there's going to be a lot of negativity coming into this week with Georgia and LSU because of the way that, the Dawgs kind of played. This is the Jackets locker room straight ahead to the right up there. You can't hear the music. They had a light show almost beforehand. Didn't help them so much during the game. And this is on the way out to Mark Richt Field here at Bobby Dodd Stadium. We're going to have to figure out how to get into the stands over here because I've got to grab some stuff. But I just thought it was a thorough whipping, when you 139 yards of offense. That's bad. And the Jackets season is over. Georgia's is not. Georgia will play in the conference championship game. They will either they will either beat LSU and face someone in the college football playoff, or they will go to the Orange Bowl. Right, this second, Alabama is beating Auburn. This, by the way, Bobby Dodd is a total maze. We've got to get over there, and it's going to be tough, okay? But we're going to do it, I hope. But it was a lopsided win. I mean, 500 yards to, what was that, 139. Was the game ever in doubt, even with that onside kick? I mean, it just kind of felt like it was inevitable. Now, there were a couple things that happened today during this game that were, not ideal. When you start talking about the George Pickens fight, which I was right by, I have no idea how Swilling was not kicked out of that game. He threw a punch to start the thing. And, of course, I don't know. George has got to get a control of himself there because it could have stopped and not been a big deal. But at the end of the day, you have to control yourself as best you can. And that didn't happen. But I thought Swilling should have been ejected too. And he wasn't. And, it is what it is. I think his career is over. But George has got a long way to go. And he's an important piece of the puzzle here at Georgia. I mean, Lawrence Cager's not going to be back before a national championship game if you get there. So, and even then, you're pushing it. I don't think they're going to. I don't think Lawrence is going to play again at Georgia. It would take a very quick recovery from what I understand he had, and I'm just not sure that's going to happen. So, I don't know, man. But it was, I do kind of wonder, too, in all of this, when we get our cardio in here, I do kind of wonder myself, Matt, just how, how much is this Jeff Collins thing going to continue to roll? Because they got their ass whipped pretty good. Are you laughing at this? You think this is funny with me doing this? Or you need a break? Matt's tired. Matt, huh?
Bobby Dodd sucks.
It's a tough place. It's a tough place to work. I'm gonna tell you that right now. This is one of the toughest places to work, and you gotta kind of, know that coming into it. It doesn't excuse it, but if you know that coming into it, it's like, all right, I'll try to have some patience today. But the sidelines, man, they're just almost. The sidelines are just almost not. It makes no sense to me. I mean, why would you put a security guard in front of photographers? I mean, that's. I don't know. We got 3 state troopers for Kirby, and there's a guy from Tech that's walking them everywhere. They're state troopers. They'll be all right. I mean, we don't need everybody from Tech walking around. But the internet doesn't work. I mean, doesn't work well. This is our struggle. Let's go down and up. Still have to, well, this is going to be a monster to produce. We still have to go to another wing of Bobby Dodd, Mark Richtfield, to get another set of things. This will be some serious cardio in a minute here, though. Actually, we're going to take the elevator. Let's take the elevator, Matt. Matt, we're going to get Matt in condition. Matt, you're not ready for the. You're not ready. You're preseason ready, Matt. You're not ready for the real deal. I think a lot of people are going to figure out how Georgia loses to LSU. I'm going to, Georgia will be the underdog. Georgia should lose that game. But people shouldn't be so certain they will lose the game. That's the part that kind of, to me, is already overblown, and everybody's getting their inner Munson on. There's your look at Bobby Dodd. It is a pretty place to play a football game, but it's a tough place to play. It is a tough place to play. Tough place to play in terms of that. You know what? I misspoke. It's a tough place to work. I'm not sure it's a tough place to play because, the Dawgs have won here every year this century. In every game in the 90s except 1999. I don't know. There's so much Tech could do to improve, generally speaking. But they should be better. They should have better players. I know they're going through a transition, and we'll see. Recruiting is going to be critically important for Tech. But for Georgia, all the way up, Matt, all the way up. But for the Dawgs, you've got everything in front of you. Swift is going to be okay. Kazer's out. Pickens you'll get at the half. This defense is dominant, man. It's a dominant defense. I know they played a bad team today, but I watched this Tech team play Clemson, and Georgia punt kicked. Georgia punt kicked the Jackets worse than Clemson did, and that's saying something because Clemson kicked the shit out of them too. But they both kind of goofed around in the first half a little bit. Trevor Lawrence was a little bit off for Clemson, who pushed out to 38-7 win over Carolina, something like that. 33. Yeah, that's not surprising. They didn't score a touchdown. So we're going to go up to the top of Bobby Dodd Stadium, Mark Richtfield here. I don't know, man. I think you've got everything in front of you. If you're the Dawgs, Matt, why don't you stay down here, and I'll unbuckle these from down here. No, come on up, man. Let's be competitors. They're going to have to play well against LSU. Dominique Blaylock might be the key to this game. Obviously, no turnovers. That would not be good. But you're going to need Georgia to get an explosive play from something other than the offense, because it really does feel sometimes like the offense is not capable of clicking and getting an explosive play. You get Swift back, that'll matter. Swift with only 73 today, but he only had 10 carries. Obviously, he didn't play after a while. I liked the Wildcat. I do think the Dawgs are going to go hurry up next week. I think they're going to have tempo. I think we're going to come up here to the top of Bobby Dodd Stadium, Mark Richtfield, and wrap this up. See, now that's nice looking, man. I think it works for me. But Tech's got a long way to go, man. They got a long way to go. And they got a 2,000-pound gorilla in their backyard. And it's not gonna be easy at all for them to get back into this thing. They got the shit beat out of them today, and it really wasn't that bad. it could have been bad, and it wasn't. But I know what's going to happen. I know how this is going to go. Jake Fromm is going to be a person that people can't decide whether to hate or put everything on. Georgia's offense will be lambasted the whole time, the whole week. The defense will be an afterthought for the most part. But the truth of the matter is that all these players are going to have to get out there and play. It's not just going to be Georgia's offense on the field against LSU's offense. They're all going to have to play. We're going to go home and watch LSU tonight. We're all three going to write what we see. And I would not be surprised if Georgia won. I don't think they should, but it's not up to me. It's not up to me at all. 3 turnovers today. This could have been a 60-something score to nothing. It was a beating. This is not a good Georgia Tech team. This is not a good time in the Galaxy for the Jackets. It's rough. They got a long way to go. Georgia got a long way to go this week. But they seem like they are going to be perennial players in the SEC championship game. Won't happen all the time. And Tennessee's not going to be bad forever, I don't think. The Gators are going to get Georgia at some point. But as you look at a conclusion of another regular season in Athens, 3 consecutive 11-win seasons, 33 wins in 3 years, Georgia's about where they need to be. They need to crack through, though, and be ready for this final push. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because just because you beat LSU doesn't mean you know how to slow down Clemson or Ohio State or LSU a second time. So this is going to be a fight, but Georgia looks the part of a fighter. This is just as simple as getting the offense right. All right, from the top of historic Bobby Dodd, I think it's Bobby Dodd Stadium at historic Mark Richt Field. I'm going to wrap it up here. Throwback to everybody. Please subscribe and listen to us this entire week. We're going to have a bunch of SEC championship stuff. Dean Legge, I don't know if you can get that sunset over there. Dean Legge, Matt DeBerry at the top of Bobby Dodd. Georgia takes out the Jackets again, 52-7. Signing off.